Okay, let's start. Hi everybody. This is going to be my first tutorial for 3ds Max. I mean, I have lots of tutorials, but many of you are complaining that it is too fast, you need to slow down. You have button on YouTube to slow down if you want to watch a slower video. But anyway, I understand you. So in this scene we are going to make isometric scene, and first we are going to press U. We are going to press U on keyboard, then Alt W, but not you need to move your mouse on the selected viewport, and then Alt W, and it will zoom in to that viewport. If you want to go back to perspective, you press P, U, P, U, P, U. What shall we make now? I really don't know. I'm sitting in front of my PC and I don't really know what to do, so I decided to make a small tutorial. So for example, let's make some simple room. I'm going to show you some basic stuff of lighting setup, rendering setup, and stuff like that. So let's start. First we are going to create a box. This is going to be our floor. So make floor in shape you want, and then click release left mouse and go down. For example, something like this. To remove this selection box, we are going to press Shift J, and to remove this grid we are going to press G. I always work without grid unless I really need it for some modular stuff or something like that. Now let's select this box, go right click here and click editable poly. My voice is a little rusty because I got cold. It will be much nicer voice next time when I make part 2 of this video. Also, what I love to do is to go here, default shading, and click on clay. It's for me it's easier to view and distinguish between two different objects. Okay, now we can create our floor, our walls. For walls we are going to hold shift and drag this. So now we have duplicated this object. You also have option for instance or reference. For example, if you choose instance, and now when I move this or edit this object in any way, it will also change all instance objects in this scene. But we don't need instance, we need to copy this. So let's copy, choose copy, okay, and now press S, go to this vertex here and snap it to this one, so we don't have any gap between floor and wall. Right click, editable poly, and we are going to make some walls. Choose Swift Loop, click here and then hold shift and extrude this. Again press S for snapping tool and snap it to this vertex here. Okay, now select upper faces like this and make some walls, some wall height. I hate walls, yes. Something like this. These walls are too thin, so I'm going to make them thicker, something like this. Okay. If you are annoyed by this bad topology, feel free to press S and snap it to look more professional. Okay, we have our wall and floor, but we don't have doors and walls. Doors and windows? Yes, windows. So click again on Swift Loop and cut where you want your door and window, something like this. Now select this face and click on bridge, and we have our window opening. And we should also do the same for door, bridge, and we are going to delete this face because we don't need it. And this is base for our room. What can we do next? We can make some window frame. So select, switch, press 2 on your keyboard to switch on edge select, and select these 4 edges. Then go right click and create shape. Create shape and choose linear. Okay, deselect wall and click on this line. Now you have created editable spline, but we don't see it yet because rendering in viewport is disabled. We are going to enable it, and in viewport also. Now we have 12 sides. We can go have as much as we like, as we want, but we are going to need four sides, and for angle we are going to type 45. So now it's rotated by 45 degrees. And we can scale this a little bit, and we can move it here. Now pivot is right here because we created this spline from this wall, and this wall's pivot is here. If you want to change pivot, go here in hierarchy, press affect pivot only and center to object. Now it is centered to our object, and now we can move it. For example, something like this. That will be our frame for the window, and we can also make one for the door. Again, select these edges, right click, create shape, okay, and it will save last settings you had for editable spline. Center pivot to object and move this, for example, something like this, and we have a door frame. We only thing that we need is door. So let's go to box and create some basic door. Editable poly, press 1 on your keyboard to go to vertex mode and snap this to these vertices so we don't have any hole. Like that, okay. And now we can add some more details to our room. Let's make some sofa. For sofa, we are going to start with box. For example, something like this. And then go up. click right click with mouse and go to hide unselected, so we only see this object. If you want to see all objects, right click and hide all. Okay, now go to copy this by holding shift and drag, something like this. Then we are going to side viewport and select these two, shift and drag. Now you can select for example multiple objects and click to editable poly, and now you can edit them at the same time. But for example, if you have something like I don't know, maybe chamfer or turbo smooth, if you have some stack over here and you select all of them and go to editable poly, when you finish with that edit poly and go to collapse 2, you will lose all of that stack, so have that in mind. Let me go back. Okay, since I don't have any stack for these two boxes, I'm going to select them, choose edit poly, go to vertex mode and make some basic shape that I want. For example, something like this. Then I can also, I will collapse this, then select this one. And again, I'm making only some basic shapes. And I'm going to copy this on this side. And we practically have our sofa. And it looks like a Minecraft. So let's do something about it. Select all of these. Actually, I'm going to attach them all, so they can be one object. You can click here, attach, and select objects you want to attach, or you can, if for other objects are hidden, you can select one of them, go to this attach list, select them here and attach. Now they're all selected, which is great if you have some bigger object. I mean, if you have many objects, so you don't have to select them one by one. Okay, what are we going to do with this sofa? So first, let me go back to our scene. Move sofa over here. Maybe it is too long, so let's make it look good from this viewport. Something like this. And I think this is okay, but we are going to make it maybe a little bit smaller. And of course we don't need this line here. This should be only one part, so let's fix that. And we can also put some pillows on this side, so something like this. Go to wireframe mode if you want and move this something like this. This looks okay. Okay, now we can add the chamfer modifier, and it will give us very nice looking sofa for this isometric scene. We literally don't need anything else. we are just going to adjust the smoothness. We need only one smoothing group for all of them. Okay, it was 30, and as you see, it will make hard edge here. Hard edge, if you know, if you are familiar with Maya. And let's type 180. Okay, now we have smooth edges, but it will give us bad shading. I don't know if you can see that because of how the normals are doing their normal stuff. I don't know. So go to chamfer. You can disable it here, enable it, make some nice curved edges, something like this. Or for example, if you want these edges to be less curved, like for example armrest and this thing, you can select pillows only and go to no. Okay, I'm going to detach this one and make chamfer for this, something like that. I can click here and go to copy and then paste that for our pillows, and I'm going to make them more rounded. Okay, now we can select all of this, and what are we going to do? We can choose weighted normals, and it will fix our problem with bad shading if you have low poly with one smoothing group. So this is without weighted normals, as you can see, some strange shading, and with weighted normals, without width, without width, without width, without width, without width, without width, and that's it. I'm not going to do that anymore. Just one more time, without width. This is looking too, I don't know, straight. So what we can do now is add some noise. So before this chamfer, go to editable poly, select these edges and add some segments, for example something like this. Then we are going to add segments over here, so select this one, and since we can't I mean, I can select this, but sometimes you will need to select here, and you don't and you can't select it because you will have some other edges interfering with your selection. You can select one and go to ring, and it will select that ring loop for you. Now go to connect, and let's make it something like this. Now go back to chamfer. Actually, we didn't add on these sides. Select this ring and add one. Now go to chamfer, go to turbo smooth. I don't know, maybe 2 times. It's not necessary, maybe 2 times, but we are not doing low poly for gaming, so we can fool around with many polygons here. And now go choose click here in modifiers list and choose noise. Type N or NOI. Anyway, find noise, and now we are going to give it some strength and reduce scale. Now we have some nice looking soft, as you can see. When you put this on 0, it will give you this this crazy look, but you just need to scale it up a little bit, and now you have some not so perfectly straight sofa. For example, something like this, and this is still too much. So let's reduce maybe strength and scale it up a little bit, so it's literally just a slightly visible. For example, something like this, with noise. Okay, we can do same for our pillows. So go here, select all of this and give it some segments, or you have a simple, more easier way to do it, and that is go to modifiers list, type tessellate, choose polygons, tension need to be on 0. You can choose 1 iteration, 2, 3, 4. So much easier than to put all loops by hand. Now we have more polygons for these pillows, and we are going to choose noise. I'm going to put noise above chamfer. Scale, for example, 10, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. Now this looks okay, and I'm not going to change anything about it except this problem that we have here, and that is caused by chamfer because it is too big. So we will reduce chamfer like this, and now go to noise, weight normals, and voila, we have our nice looking sofa. Of course we can make it look much better, but this is some simple isometric scene, so no need for that. Unhide all, and let's see how the sofa looks in our room. It looks crazy ugly, but that is what you get when you want to do something fast. Okay, sofa. So we have sofa, and we are going to need some cute little table. So let's create a basic shape for this table, for example something like this, and create one leg. Actually we are going to use cylinder. You can remove these height segments if you want, or add them. I'm going to remove them. Go to right click, editable poly. I'm going to select this upper face and maybe scale it up a little bit and scale down this so it has some shape, like somebody was trying to make something look nice. And then we are going to move it over here and copy this leg over here, then select both legs and copy them over here. And now we are going to move this here, right click, editable poly, choose edge, click on edge, click ring, and go to chamfer. And now we can chamfer these edges to have some nice looking coffee table. I mean, it really looks nice. What else should we put here? Maybe some carpet, something like this, and we have our carpet, but it needs some thickness, so we are going to go to modifiers list and choose shell and give it some thickness, for example something like this, nothing crazy. That's it. Okay, and let's make some, I don't know, maybe some TV. For TV we can copy this carpet, rotate it by 90 degrees, and move it next to this wall. Of course, make it smaller. I don't know if this is correct aspect for TV. 60:9, but it doesn't matter. Some shell, maybe more thickness, and then we can add edit poly, go to face selection, select this face and go here. It says inset. Now we can insert this face to make some thin frame bevel, something like this, and then hold shift and move this to extrude this face a little bit, and that will be our TV. If you don't like these hard edges, you can also give it some chamfer. And of course some weight normals, and you have your nice looking TV. Next are curtains. So let's create some sphere. As you can see, you can create everything with some basic shapes. So let's create one here, and then create some line here. As you can see, our line is actually a same as we've done for a window, so it will save our settings that we had. And now we are going to need some more sides, for example 18, to make it more round, and thickness something like this. We can copy this sphere over here, and we have base stand for our curtain. Actually, this needs to be connected to a wall, so let's just fix that. Also reduce thickness for this, and this is looking okay, except this thing needs to go a little further over here. Something like that, and okay, that's it. Now for the curtains. In this video I'm going to make a simple version, and maybe in some other video I will show you how to make more complex cloth simulations. So let's go with plane. Create some plane like this. Add some segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then go to editable poly. Select every other edge, or select one edge and go here, and it will select every other edge for you. Now move these edges like this. Move this curtain over here and add turbo smooth, and you have your base curtain. It's not much, but since we created it in 1 minute, it looks okay. Maybe add more curves to it. Okay, that's it. So that is for the curtain. Actually, we can, after this, We can add some modifier, for example FFD, and scale this something like this to give it some nicer, more natural look. Okay. And for room, that's it. I don't think we need anything else. Maybe we do need some small table over here, something like TV stand. So just create one, and voila, I have created one. Let's use same legs for this, since this is all bought in same store. Like this, and select them and move them over here. Now we can add some I don't know, some more shapes to it. You don't have to, or you can. I'm going to select these 4 legs for TV stand and select these faces, actually edges. Click to connect and make this edge somewhere in here. And now I'm going to select top faces. Actually, I make a cut here so I can delete its faces so we don't see them sticking out. Okay, and that is our TV stand. But let's go a little bit further. We can select this face, Control Shift drag. Now go to detach, select that face that you have detached, affect pivot only, center to object, and now we can make some more how do you call it, some kind of door. Add some shell to it, maybe make them a little longer, something like this. Actually, I'm going to put it here and then copy this one here and then add shell. Can go to front view, for example, and just add box. Okay, so that is our TV stand. And we have our room. It's nothing much, but it looks okay. So in next part, I'm going to show you some basic scene setup, light setup that will make this scene look 100 times better. Now it looks ugly, but for example, let me show you. If you only add something like HDRI map, it will going to look nice. For example, let me just quickly demonstrate this. Type here HDRI, choose HDRI environment. So for example, not aping forest, but okay, let's drag and drop this here. Instance, okay, and I'm going to change this to combination room. I'm mostly using combination room for this. And now when you add some base material, we have some base lights, PBR, metal roughness, and for ambient occlusion I'm going to type ambient occlusion, some basic render setup, for example 1000 pixel by 1000 pixels. Go to Arnold render. I'm going to render with my graphic card, so GPU, and I'm going to set this to my GPU card. Now we can render some basic scene with some basic lights. I'm going to add denoiser optics and fix a little bit of this material. Actually, I'm not going to do anything with material. I'm going to rotate this environment to get some better looking, for example something like this, and then I'm going to save this because I forgot to save this, and that have some power loss or something like that. Isometric room tut. Okay, room 1 version 01. Okay, and now I'm going to create some lights, for example, I mean not for example but Arnold light, and this is why I saved my scene, because sometimes when I create Arnold light in the scene I get some scene crash. And let's see what's going to happen with this one. Yes, so good thing I will save the scene. I will make next video tomorrow, and you can watch it if you want to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, just like it and subscribe. Yeah, I'm sounding like a real YouTuber. Bye.